M4A1 or HK 416? A quite logical question, considering that the first one had the first row removed when shooting. Unfortunately, there are other issues. Let's break it down. The basics of HK is a bit cheaper than M4, and their initial characteristics are comparable with almost no difference. And most importantly, both these guns can be assembled for reasonable recoil and acceptable ergonomics. The key advantage of HK is its high rate of fire, making it easier to gain an advantage. But why do we encounter M4A1 much more frequently in raids than HK 416? It's all because of one significant problem. There are simply more ways to save on assembling M4. If desired, you can put it together through ADER or TXDML. On the third mechanic, there's an exchange for 100,000 and the gun will be almost ready. On the Peacekeeper's Crown, you even get a fully assembled one. Sell some spare items and the gun costs only 100k and shoots excellently. What can we do with the HK for 100k? Not much. The base costs 16k, sometimes 70. Unfortunately, at this moment, HK stands only in two cases. The first option is if you want a more lethal weapon and don't mind paying 200,000 or even more for it. The second option is if you have not unlocked the required level of Peacekeeper, so the barter for an already assembled gun is unavailable. On the third mechanic, you need to assemble something extra and spend extra money, which you probably don't want to do. Then you can spend around 130,000 and assemble variant of HK. For about the same amount of money, if you assembled it yourself, the M4 would look like this, with comparable ergonomics and performance characteristics. Let's see how they shoot, comparing them. First, I want to remind you how important it is to subscribe so that we can meet again. M4 taps nicely. During spraying you can feel the recoil, but it's generally acceptable. The HK on the other hand feels like it throws up more when shooting. Visual recoil is more noticeable. However, it feels like the actual recoil is essentially the same, but the bullet spread vertically is higher for HK. In addition to these guns, you can consider the barter M4 with Peacekeeper costing around 100,000. It comes with optics and flashlight, and the recoil is even slightly better than the previous two. More elite options can be considered, such as the HK assembly for 250k. To assemble it, you'd need to complete almost the entire gunsmith questline, otherwise you simply won't be able to put it together for that amount. Comparable to it for 250k is M4A1, where you mostly don't need to gunsmith, and on paper the recoil is better than HK. Ergonomics are generally the same, but don't forget about the barter and exchange M4A1 for gold coins on the third mechanic. After assembling it, you get a third variant for 200,000, which is better than HK and M4A1 for 250k. Let's shoot them all. The assembled M4 taps nicely. The sprays are excellent and the recoil is almost imperceptible, but it's still there. As for the one we exchanged and assembled, it feels identical during shooting. Well, maybe it's a little different, but its ergonomics are much better and you can feel it. Now it's time for the HK. The recoil is comfortable, but as expected, it's slightly higher than M4A1. It's obvious why HK 416 is less popular. It's a good weapon, I would even say excellent, but unfortunately there's just no to save on it, no barter options, no other guns that could be used to create a Frankenstein, and in a vibe where you can shoot even with stock weapons, few will want to overpay just because HK is cool. I look forward to your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Good luck!